Gakkou Gurashi once again does not disappoint with another excellent executed episode this week. This episode continues off after the events of last week, and I'm liking the way the series is going. That's one thing I actually want to mention right now. I'm loving how Gakkou Gurashi is taking its own time and slow pacing to give characterization to these characters that we were introduced on the first episode. I'm really liking the slow and gradual build-up with a lot of these characters because every individual character so far has gotten somewhat slight development or characterization along with finding out more about their past and what led them to where they are now. I'm really liking the way this series is being structured when it comes to the anime format of the series. Now, when it came to this episode, though, there is some obvious hints and slight build-up going on throughout this entire episode. And first things first I want to talk about is the Yuki stuff. Because when it comes to Gakkou Gurashi, I think we can all agree the best stuff that I think majority of us really like, besides the zombie aspect, is definitely the psychological trauma and fucked up nature of Yuki since she is just mentally insane. I think that's one of the main reasons why so many of us love this series, and so of course I want to talk about that first. So with this episode, we get some hints that Yuki, she knows she's crazy. We get some hints of that, and let me explain. In the episode, there's multiple areas throughout the episode. When you see Yuki sees like a zombie, like you see how her eyes twitch or to where like she gets a little bit dazy, or she has these flashbacks, vivid flashbacks that are kind of hazy, but she can really remember what was going on. It seems like Yuki knows that she is crazy. It seems like she is well aware that she is crazy, but she is using anything possible as a coping mechanism. For instance, when you saw that one scene in this episode to where like she saw the zombies and then she was running away and you saw her get dazy like she was daisy in the trance, and then eventually when she woke up after she had a fever, you saw it to where she was in the classroom and all the friends that she thought she was talking to the entire time were actually already dead and zombies. It just goes to show you she knows she's crazy. Like, you could tell that she knows somewhat, but she's just trying to live in a fantasy and deny it, which I guess that's what happens when you kind of get a little bit psychotic, but still, it seems like she is slightly aware of this, and she is slowly starting to remember things, and she's slowly starting to piece together everything that's going on. I wonder if there is going to come a time in the series to when she will realize what is going on, or is it going to be like this entire time, like some form of coping mechanism to where she continues to make excuses for what is going on, like, you know, trying to get over this fear, this awful fear. Like when she ran to go save the girl in this episode, when she was on the piano and she was about to get eaten, you saw it to where there was a vivid flashback popping up in Yuki's mind, and she was remembering some girl. You could tell that this girl had pink hair, which makes me assume it's either Yuki or it looks somewhat like Megune. I don't know which one it is, but it looks like both of those because they both have like similar hair color, and the way the coloring design was, like the color palette, I can't really tell, to be honest, from the way the flashback was done. But whatever it was, you saw to where Yuki was scared. She had this little flashback, and you saw this person was like kind of surrounded by zombies a little bit. And then you saw to where she ran over to save her because she had this flashback. So it lets you know that she doesn't want those exact same events, whatever happened, to happen again. And also something really bad happened to where it put a lot of trauma on her. I want to assume that moment to when she remembered whatever it was, when like she was running towards the piano, I want to assume that was probably the time to when it broke her, to where she broke beyond repair. And most likely the girl we saw was Yuki being very fucking scared, where she was traumatized, and then after that she was broken and she didn't want that to happen to anyone else. That most likely is what that is when it comes to this episode. Besides that, though, I wonder where Kay is. That's something I want to mention right now. See, I'm going to assume that Kay is dead, you know, the girl that ran off and went on her own adventures. Like, well, even if we're alive, are we really living? Because, you know, they were staying in a room. I don't know if she's necessarily dead or not, because we didn't really see a corpse, but we're looking at a zombie series, and of course, if you factor in that zombies eat people, Kay might not look the same, because, I mean, if a zombie grabs you and starts devouring on your ass, I mean, you could be ripped in half, and, I mean, you won't look the damn same, I mean, if someone finds you. So, I don't know if Kay is alive or not, but I feel like there's going to come a time, probably an arc or some form of plot point in the future to where Kay is going to be alive, or some form of her is going to be around to where we find her and then find out either A, she is dead or she's alive, because it's not really explained what happens to her, because you see it to where nothing's explained. Like, she just walks off, as we know, and then that's it. We don't find out. We don't even see a corpse or a body. We do find the dog, however, but we don't find anything else. So, a lot of questions. Now, besides that, the episode of Gakkou Gurashi, a very intense episode, a lot of zombie action. I mean, if you like your zombies in this series, you're definitely going to see a lot of zombies when it comes to this episode. So I feel like if you're a zombie fanatic, you're going to love the episode because it shows a lot more of that type of stuff instead of the moe aspect of the series. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.